Hello, everyone, and welcome in. I've been looking forward to this all year long. Every year, Michael Leone and I and our friend Reezy, who is not with us because he has to do a home league tonight, we always draft in this contest on the NFC. It's the single bullet. It's $1,000 to enter. It is $50,000 to first place. Michael, we have finished top 5 in this contest. We have finished top 10 in this contest. We have never won it. But I think that's going to change this year. I think that's going to change. I think I'm seeing the ball very well, and I think that we are going to win this year. We are drafting out of the 5-hole. I could not be more excited to do this team with you.
We have cashed in this like almost every year, right?
Every year, I believe. Yeah.
In some capacity. We had one monster team, the Josh Allen Diggs breakout year.
Yes.
Where I think like CMC got hurt for us in the playoffs.
CMC, we finished 7th in the whole thing without Christian McCaffrey in the playoff weeks.
For the playoff sprint. And then last year we did really well. I still remember the Tyler Lockett versus Calvin Ridley pick where I got outvoted on. So it's been good times. And
Breece Hall snapped.
We were already okay.
They're all snapped.
I'm fine with this because Davis wanted Justin Jefferson. I kind of preferred Breece, Bijan, or Tyreek, but I'm assuming you're Tyreek over Jefferson.
Yes, yeah. Okay. That's how my rankings have it.
So easy game here, right?
Yeah.
And you're on the sticks, right? I'm not in the room right now.
Yes, so. I can't even. They don't even on the Silver Bullet. They actually don't even let you add a co-manager.
Oh, yeah, I think because it's single entry, so they don't want it to people to get workarounds.
You got why are people snapping off running backs? What's the format? Let me tell you a little secret. You move up in stakes in fantasy football, people like running backs even more. The higher you like a $350 league, people like running backs more than Best Ball Mania. You get to $1,000 league, people really like running backs. You get to the FFPC main event or the NFFC primetime, and ETN's a second-round pick.
The format, too, really does favor wide receiver heavy builds because you have to start 3 receivers.
You have to start 3.
And it's full PPR.
It's 6 points per passing touchdown. And it's, I never remember, it's the extra pointage for yardage, too. What is it 0.25?
Oh, 1 per 20, 1 point per 20
1 per
instead
20,
of
yes.
25.
Yes.
So 0.05 points per passing yard. It's third round reversal too.
Correct.
So people know.
So we picked at 5, then we're going to pick 20th, and then we are going to pick 32nd. What do I think about Kyron returning punts? If this is not just Sean McVay saying something to be funny, it's a big deal. But I think he's just vibing, right? He's got to just be vibing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I really care too much at this point, but we'll see.
I mean, I hate, like I'm such a slappy. Like I hate running back so much. I'm like, all I need is like the wind to blow a certain way. And I'm like, Blake Corum is the best pick on the board.
Yeah, I do like Corum more in the managed leagues where you're just shooting purely for the upside. You don't care about the useful
Oh, yeah,
leagues.
because Corum is going to be 0 so often.
Yeah, and you don't really care about that in managed because you're just starting somebody else.
What quarterbacks are considerably different? It's not so much who's better. It's actually who's worse. So it's like Richardson is worse. Lamar Jackson is a little bit worse. Hurts and Allen,
Daniels
actually. Hurts and Allen throw for enough touchdowns that I actually don't really change how I value them at all. But it's really Richardson. Richardson is like an 8th round pick in this format. Quite often.
Mahomes does benefit. I have him as QB1 in this format, and I have him as QB4 in like regular. So it's a decent change for him.
This is PPR. It's PPR. Start 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, a flex, a kicker, and a defense. Donta Foreman is going to be a Cleveland Brown tomorrow. All right, we are on deck. We have Tyreek Hill, top of the queue right now. For me, would be like A-Chain or Nico, I think.
Yeah. I'd be fine with Achan. I know you like him a ton. I have Nico ahead, but I also, it makes sense to play the room a little bit.
So we will definitely like the wide receivers who are there
right
in the
later.
third round. The running backs like Pacheco, ETN,
They're gonna be
Kyron
gone.
are going to be gone. I mean, Derrick Henry is
Yeah,
already gone.
I'm fine with Achan. I mean, in a vacuum, I think Nico's a better pick, but for roster construction, I don't really care about the two Miami players either. I know some people might ask
Well,
about
I
that.
don't care when it's these two. I don't love in managed doing Tyreek and Waddle together. Actually, I don't really like those two together in any format, honestly.
Yeah, you lose some of the upside case with Waddle for sure. But I also think they're so concentrated and can score so many points that I don't know. I wouldn't like overthink it. But
You want to know my most boomer take? I like actually every time I take a Dolphins player in the back of my head, I'm like, I know these dudes are gonna not try in December. I know these dudes are so soft, they're gonna give up in these games. I can't. It's
Week 17 at Cleveland, it's your nightmare.
Like if Dan Orlovsky said that on television, I'd be like, Dan Orlovsky, this guy he doesn't know anything. And then in my head, I'm like, yeah, but I watched them in Kansas City just quit in a playoff game. Like I just watched them quit a playoff game.
That was very extreme. I mean, granted, it was a playoff game.
It's a playoff game and they quit.
I don't think they like
quit.
quite quit. I just think, I don't know. I'm gonna give them a pass.
Okay. All right. Leone is giving.
A pass is strong. I mean, not a pass, but it's not. I'm not like.
It just always.
I don't have the same fears.
It sticks in my. I mean, it doesn't. It obviously doesn't impact my ownerships of these players all that much because I can like I'm above the market on Waddle, above the market on A-Chain, right at market with Tyreek.
So
okay,
do
Nico
we
does go.
play a little bit of chicken with the elite tight ends in this format? I feel like they're still pretty valuable, but they go late, and it's like you want to.
Of course, that's one of my big. In the FFPC, I've got 6 main event teams. The latest tight end one we've taken the whole one is Bowers, but on 5 of the 6 we have one of Laporta, Kelsey, McBride, or Andrews. Like I just think that's the way to play high stakes this year.
I think so. FFPC obviously a little different with the premium scoring though, because it's like hard to talk yourself into not needing one of those guys to win a 3-week sprint when they're someone who might catch 20 balls, which is 30 points right there. So it's a little bit less important here, but I think it's more important than the market has it. We're in our NFFC ranks, we're basically ahead of ADP on all of the top 7 to 8 tight ends.
I'm gonna send you my password so that you can see the board because I can't even share the board. It's because I have to zoom in on this board so it fucks up the draft room. I think I can send you my password. Maybe not.
If you can, that would be nice. Just because it's a little hard to follow. What's your login? Just your Gmail.
It's just my Gmail, but I'm trying to find the password. This is the second boomer tech moment I had today. I started my stream with Rich today in Firefox, and I just installed Crane's Sidekick, and I did something wrong with it, and it wouldn't let me draft. It would not let me draft. It wouldn't open the screen. So I was just for like 4 picks, I was just doing it on my phone while Rich was like, "What's going on, dude?"
Poor Rich.
It's just like, "Oh, sure."
There's.
I literally can't find my password. Let's make this pick, then I'll do it. I think this pick.
Ayuk is still there.
Ayuk is still there. Diggs.
I love Devontae Smith.
We could probably wait on Diggs. I love Devonta Smith. I mean, obviously, love setting up the Kelsey stack. Yeah.
I like Diggs. I think I'd wait until Devontae goes. Don't love that. I think I'd be Ayuk as the clear one here on this board.
Ayuk over DJ Moore?
Dude, Ayuk's so good.
So we got 107 targets last year. It's going to be about 60 less than DJ Moore gets. And we also might
I
wake
don't
up.
think it's going to be 60 less than DJ Moore gets.
We also might wake up tomorrow and Brandon Ayuk might be a Pittsburgh Steeler. It's also
Well, we could break the tie on ADP and maybe get Ayuk coming back. So if you want to go DJ Moore, I won't fight you too hard, but I would have
also
Ayuk first.
also sets up Caleb.
Yeah, but we're gonna have so many outs. Like we've got Tua, we could have Purdy is fine.
Yeah, but we like Caleb.
All right. Just you clearly want to take DJ Moore, so just lock
It's just
it in.
like Leone. Here's the thing. I feel like you should also really want DJ Moore because you've been doing this. I mean, how long have we been? You've been a dynasty nerd long enough, and you don't want to see DJ Moore succeed.
I mean, I do have to get some money back on DJ Moore at some point.
That's what I'm
Finally,
saying, dude.
Did you send me your password yet? So I can
No, I'm still trying to find it.
Classic.
It's really, I literally can't.
Stuff.
Okay, so I switched browsers when I started streaming to Chrome, and I fucked something up and I lost my LastPass password. So I am locked out of my LastPass. So I can only get in things that I like.
Are you locked out of LastPass on your phone too?
I'm locked out of LastPass everywhere.
Oh no. You don't have like the master password saved somewhere safe?
No.
Oh man, I've got the master password.
I didn't ever think
and like hidden in pictures on my phone. It's
This is the only proper response. It's really not my finest moment. Also, this is true. LastPass had a tech breach like not that long ago.
Yeah. I mean, the whole idea of LastPass to me is not a great idea. I mean, it's centralized, right? Like you lose, if one person breaks in, they have everything, right? Yeah. But it's also, but to me, it's the opportunity cost, which is if I didn't have LastPass, I would have a bunch of really shitty passwords for everything that I wouldn't remember because I'm not going to, you know what I mean?
Yes. Okay. I am going to be able to send it to you momentarily. I found
that was a nice move at the Mahomes
that is
Rice.
So I think it's a little early for Mahomes, but I think snapping Rashi off there is pretty
early
strong.
Round 4 Kenneth Walker is the energy we need in this room.
Correct. Well, famously, Michael, our best ever team in this got Kenneth Walker at the turn, slipping to the 6-7 turn his rookie year.
Dude, didn't we take him last year too?
Yes.
And he went even later?
Yes.
We were, oh my goodness.
I just want everyone in the chat to know, found my password.
Okay. Can you send it to me?
I did. Why are people still playing on the NFC after the situation last year? I address this every single time. Every high stakes operator has got shit that I disagree with. The FFPC, go calculate the rake on the FFPC main event. All right, what do you want to do?
You're getting a 6-digit security code. I want to take Stephon Diggs, who just went. What about Tank Dell?
I would do Tank Dell. I would also do Travis Kelce or Trey McBride.
I feel like we can like play chicken with tight end though, and just like
take the last one.
5, 6. I'm also what about it so much.
You think Tank over T? I've got those right next to each other.
Tank versus T. I could go either way. On that one.
I took Tank. Honestly, that was kind of a bit. But yeah, the deal with the NFC is that one, I am choosing to believe the independent.
You got to send me the verification code.
Yes.
You got to send it to me.
There we go. I'm choosing to believe the third-party investigation results. You can feel free to not believe the third-party investigation results, but I choose to. So That's where
I
I'm at.
also,
And I don't mind answering those questions. It's totally fair and valid to ask.
yeah, I mean, everyone's got their own personal risk tolerance to things they want to do. I think everybody can make their own decisions. I have known Greg and Tom for a long time, and I trust them. Obviously, mistakes were made and they hired the wrong person, but I don't think that it went more than there being the wrong person in the wrong position. Should have been like better safeguards to make sure it didn't happen. But I trust the people that are running the show, and I could be wrong on that. Use your own judgment.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just one of those things. But that is how I'm choosing to play this year. You guys can play whatever you want. Yeah, this is actually honestly rude. 500 concurrent viewers and 35 likes. Kind of fucked up. I don't actually think this is true, but in my heart, Leone, my truth serum take is that I think this is true. Like, I don't actually believe it, but my truth serum is that I might believe this.
I think there's a chance he's the best receiver. I don't think he's the one.
I'm also very bullish on Nico. So the one that loses out is Diggs, which I know is hard for you.
You're bearish on Nico, or you're bullish?
No, I'm bearish on Diggs. Relative to the market, I'm lowest on Diggs.
I think Diggs landed in the absolute nut spot for himself, which is he can play this slot and be like the number 3 wide receiver in terms of skill and just still eat because the team is so good. So in full PPR, I do think he's going to out-target Dell enough that he should go in front of Dell, but I don't think it's a huge gap. I like all the Houston receivers. And if Stroud fell enough, his format is like decent for him, where the lack of rushing stuff doesn't hurt him as much.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've got them in my rankings. I've got Nico. I have Nico in my rankings as a 1-2 turn candidate. So
this is me likely overweighting a small thing, but I do have a tough time at times shaking that we were projecting Dell to outscore Nico for like 3 straight weeks until Dell got hurt.
I'm not at all shocked by McBride over Kelsey. I have McBride ahead of Laporta in my stuff, and McBride and Kelsey back-to-back picks. So not surprising to me. I'm very high on Arizona. I think they could be like the 5th best offense in football, kind of like, which is the market is not saying that for sure. There's someone else said something. Oh, this Xavier Worthy over Mike Evans. Yeah, for me, because I know ball. We did take.
I'm not there.
No, I know you're not.
We
did take
we don't even
Xavier Worthy. We did take Xavier Worthy in the 5th round in a 350 the other night.
I mean, that seems fine, right? Like, I'm on Worthy. I felt like early in the offseason we were maybe assuming too much for him, but now with Hollywood getting banged up and just the preseason usage and stuff, I'm okay chasing the upside that early a little bit more.
I'm not really scared that Harrison will limit the high volume to McBride because the offense is just going to be so much better. They're going to have so many more attempts. They're going to have so many more scoring drives. Perfect. I think like Kyler is just one of those guys where kind of every year of his career, something has gone wrong other than the one year where they won 11 games. All right, we are on.
There's only one running back I'd maybe consider.
Oh,
which is James Cook. If we thought we can still get a lot of wide receivers going, we don't have to. I just wanted to at least throw it out there. I love Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I knew Christian Kirk was going to come up. I think maybe we go for the tight end here, or do you want to try and push it around the next turn?
I was going to take the tight end if it was Kincaid, but I think maybe we push it. You could take Worthy here. I think it's a little early, but I think Worthy's fine here too. There's also Stroud if we wanted to do elite quarterback. I think because we have outs with Tyreek and DJ Moore, we push Stroud though and just see what happens.
Who do you think I'm going to take?
I think you're going to take Xavier Worthy no matter what I say, but I'm glad I laid out the options.
You said it was okay. Everyone heard him. Everyone.
No, that was all that was needed.
Look,
James Cook was kind of interesting there, just because we know the other rookie receivers. We think we can get
sure if we had known, I guess ipso post facto, if we could do it again, if we had known that James Cook was going to be there at that pick, I would have not taken A-Chain.
But even still, I think you could have made Cook work. The thing I want to do now that we made the receiver decision over Cook is definitely get tight end or quarterback coming back. I think if we could get Pitts or Stroud coming back, I think I'd do that over wide receiver.
There should be one of both. Yeah. I mean, look, I would not have made you take Worthy without permission. But I mean, once you
it didn't take much permission though. It just took.
How bad could their floor be? Like Kyler, even in Kyler's shitty seasons, he's been a good passer. Like even bad Kyler is a pretty good passer.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, probably we should have taken Mark Andrews, but
yeah, I'd probably take Kittle here. I'm surprised they went all in such quick succession, just given how the room treated the very top guys. So
well, when
that stunk.
You've been there at a turn pick where you just saw the 5 guys all go. Okay, Kittle goes. You'll take CJ Stroud?
I think I'd take Stroud here, which I think is a reach, but I think the upside matters more in this format, and we're going to get more receivers we like, and we already have 4, right? I mean, we still might take 2 more wide receivers the next 2 rounds.
No, I think we might be on a break depending on who's there.
Ooh,
well, for sure,
we disagree. Like I'm not
so
passing
for sure
on Odunze and Brian Thomas
at pick 89. Pick 89, there is going to be a running back that we like.
Well, that you like, and I know who it is, but yeah.
No, it's not. I'm not taking him in this. Let's take Stroud.
Yeah. Let's take Stroud. Let's live a little.
So this is actually, I forgot this point, and then I wanted to come back around to it. I started out the offseason kind of low relative to the market on Houston, being like, Diggs was so unproductive after week 6 last year. Dell is like, maybe he just went on a hot run. CJ Stroud, they actually, Slowick was just mimicking Kyle Shanahan. The pass rate over expectation wasn't what you want it to be. And I was like, you know what? That is too much pencil pushing. I need to zoom out on the chart and be like, they got Stroud on the rookie contract. They restructured Diggs to get him in. They traded the 2nd round pick for him. It's the AFC. Like, every good team is in the AFC. The Texans' offense could be the story of the season, and being below market on something that could be the story of the season for fantasy football just seems bad.
Yeah, Stroud I'm a little below market on, but again, I think this format plays well for him, and I also think, again, we can only take so many receivers. I think Davis and I might disagree here at 7-8, but we'll see what comes back to us. Hopefully some running backs go and keep the receivers I like.
I mean, look, this is the trade-off you make in high stakes. You can always 100%. Do these. You always do these 2v2s. We took CJ Stroud and we could have gotten Keenan Allen, and look, Justin Herbert's still there. It's the 14th round. And you know what? CJ Stroud, Michael, it's week 5. CJ Stroud has a home game to the Jaguars. Caleb Williams has a road game to the Packers. CJ Stroud is going to project for 5.6 more points on establishtheRun.com than Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I do love Caleb. He is one of my 3 highest owned quarterbacks in best ball. And I guess just comes down to maybe I'm overconfident in the wide receiver value we're going to get. If we don't get, I want 6 really good wide receivers in this format with the intention that we're starting 4 every single week.
Pirine
And
went off the
but I
board
don't.
already.
So if we don't get to that 6, I'll probably, I'll be disappointed in the Stroud pick. I'm gambling a little bit that we took a worse pick in a vacuum to give us a bit more upside for the roster construction overall.
I mean, it's just like we gave ourselves some 6 ceiling,
Yeah,
Stroud
we probably should have gone tight end and then Worthy. We might have been able to pull that
correct.
off.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the right range for Xavier Worthy, Kirk, JSN, these guys, and like rookie wide receiver rookie wide receiver we just got snapped right there, team 7.
Yeah.
Thank you. The thumbnail, I thought the thumbnail was very good. That was one of my proudest works for thumbnail. I took some cues from the Establish the Run YouTube channel for the thumbnail. There is no bull case. There is no bull case for Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson is a timeshare tight end for Daniel Jones.
I kind of like Theo Johnson.
Who scores more fantasy points, Noah Gray or Theo Johnson?
Theo Johnson. You want to book it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
we got speed. We got speed on this.
We got speed. What if Stroud does run? What if he does? You thought about it? You put that in your Sims and smoke it?
All right. Well,
he's not.
Davis informed me that the rookie wide receivers would be free, and they are not free.
That was my experience. I mean, we kind of started the run though. We snapped Worthy way ahead of ADP, and we kind of started it.
Yeah. Had I known that, I might have, hindsight 2020. I think I would have grabbed the receiver.
There's another.
There's still a couple of receivers that I like for sure, but the tier's dwindling faster than I would like in a start 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, full PPR format for sure.
It's so.
I would snap, undo the CJ Stroud pick right now, and draft Rome Odunze.
I mean, that's pretty much. Isn't that every time you take a quarterback in one of these leagues, by the next round, you're like, that was a bad idea.
Not every time, but when Brian Thomas and Rome Odunze both go,
yeah,
it is. There is one running back that I do really like here.
I like the same running back that you do.
Probably. You probably know the running back that I like.
I'm much more of a running back drafter this year because there's no opportunity cost.
The running back I like is David Montgomery.
Yeah, same.
The wide receivers I like, I do think it would be nice to come out of 7 or 8 with Ladd or Keon, but there's
I like all the same guys you have starred. I'll just give you this 2v2 right now. So we take Ladd here, and we get Jalen Warren coming around. We take David Montgomery here, and
Keon.
Worst case is Keon. I mean, Keon would be nice. Worst case is it's Sutton, and then we're dead.
I don't think it's going to be Sutton bad, but I could be wrong. The question is, do we want to gamble on trying to get 2 more wide receivers, or do we definitely want the running back? I have Montgomery decently ahead of Warren, though, so if that's the 2v2 we're headed,
that is my reading. That is my reading of the board.
Oh, okay. I think I take Montgomery here.
Honestly, it's pretty close. I don't know how this is going to work out. I think Montgomery is not a bad pick, but if the Q just gets smoked, we are looking at a Khalil Shakir wide receiver 5 team.
Let me see. 2, 3. Who would you take here?
Ladd.
Yeah. Let's go Montgomery. Let's gamble a little bit.
I think you're right. I think we already kind of made one gamble and lost. So
we're doubling down.
Well, no, that's if you make one gamble and lose, you're not gonna safe your way back into an optimal team. Okay, well.
Don't you love when the guy immediately? Not that I expected him to come back, but when he immediately goes, you're just like, oh.
Well, I mean theoretically that should kind of be the way it works. If you're really hemming and hawing,
yeah.
Then theoretically, that should be how it works. That should make you
We're
feel better,
drafting
actually.
like every home league drafter. We're trying to optimize the week 1 starting lineup. We're just gonna draft all starters first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Packers, Ravens, Eagles, and Chiefs. That's what you want, because then we can take a peek.
I'm down to 4 wide receivers.
So, I mean, this is another thing, is that the tier of rookie wide receivers that no one likes is I know I told you free already, and it looks like I'm very wrong, but the tier of wide receivers that people are scared of and managed go very late in these.
Yeah, there's almost like a 0 RB aspect to wide receivers this year you can do, where you just put a bunch of those guys on your bench. Like usually in past years, I'm not doing that because I'm so flush at receiver. I don't like those guys. But yeah, there's Mitchell, McMillan. There's even some younger guys like Wicks. I know you like a lot. Like there's definitely, you can form a pretty nice bench.
Would you believe me if I told you that me and the Ship Chasers set the min pick on Dontavian Wicks in the main event?
I would.
Because we did.
You probably took him over Romeo Doubs or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that is so bad.
What if it's not bad, though, Michael? Have you thought about it? Have you? Because, look,
Dobbs is one of the best values on the board right now.
I mean, yeah, if you want to have week 1 brain, then sure.
Dude, week 1, I mean, he was amazing.
I'm only.
How old is Romeo Doubs? Like, why is it?
He's the oldest in the room. He's 24.
Yeah, so I don't get, like, why have we decided that he's bad? I don't understand it.
I actually can tell you that. I'll show you.
Are you going to use playoff stats with the regular season stats, or you're just going to look up regular season stats and take out his best 2 games?
Honestly,
that came at the most important time of the year.
I actually don't know. I will try and add the playoff numbers into this thing that I'm about to show you. I'm about to use the adjusted yards per attempt app on RotoViz. Dobbs is really good in route participation leagues.
I mean, you guys can shit on the route stuff, but for a passing offense we expect to be very good, he is going to be on the field the most and see the most targets. So I don't think that's week 1 brain. I think that's reality brain. This
is why people hate on Dobbs. That's all.
Yeah, I bet this does not include the playoff games.
It does not.
Yeah. In which he was absolutely fantastic in their most important 2 games of the year.
Well, wasn't Wicks good in the playoffs too?
Yeah, no, we're not Dobbs good, but yeah, he was good.
I'm not.
Do you remember what he did in the playoffs?
I like Romeo. I like Romeo Dobbs. So don't put me in this corner.
You're putting yourself in the hole, dude.
We're gonna get a wide receiver that we are comfortable with here. So I think our gamble paid off. Our gamble paid off.
150. Okay, so you know who I want, right?
Yeah, Keon, press the button. You good with that?
Let's go. Thank you for letting me.
We both got our guy. I mean, is there anything better than that? Than we both get our guy?
Except my guy sucks and your guy's really good, and my team traded your guy to you so they could draft my guy.
But have you considered that Keon Coleman is cousins with CeeDee Lamb? Has that factored into your analysis?
It has not. Yeah.
Don't you know that it is Nepo baby season?
So Dobbs in 2 playoff games, 12 targets, 10 catches, 234 yards and a touchdown, average 23.4 yards per catch.
Impress
almost
me much.
About 20 yards per target. So I think those would affect your adjusted yards per attempt numbers.
I mean, it's not even going to equal him in Wicks, but yes.
No, it's not going to equal, but he's good enough that he's probably not going to lose the job.
This seems crazy. Romeo Dobbs is not a top 20 wide receiver.
Also, okay, here's the other thing on Dobbs. What if he just gets better? It's year 3. He's 24. I mean, Devontae Adams sucked his first year or 2. Like, I just don't get
this
it.
This is also too far. Like we gotta find a happy medium. Like I want it on the record. I've drafted 726 teams on Underdog, and I've got 5% Dobbs. So it's not like I hate him.
It's also, to me, like, not shocking that the guy with the most volume has the worst efficiency. Like that's kind of how it goes.
The slappies would never want to admit that, obviously. Like, guess what? Dontavian Wicks' efficiency is going to be much worse this year on 80 targets than it is on 40 targets.
It's going down. If they switch roles, Dobbs probably has that better per route run numbers.
It wasn't the 3.1. The way this works, that's the 312. It's third round reversal. So Mahomes was the 312.
I don't think it's that crazy.
I don't think it's crazy, especially because he just snapped Rashee Rice. If you did Mahomes and you just took like Pickens or something, like just like a non-correlated, then yeah, it would be. Look, I want it on the record. I like Romeo Dobbs. I like Jordan Love. I want to be at or above market on every Packer. It's just hard for me because you know this, Michael. There's two wolves inside me. There's the Drew Dinkmeyer, Michael Leone wolf that is telling me just play the best plays, listen to the math, and win. And I've got the Crane, Overzet, Gretsch wolf inside me telling me to be a slappy. And it's hard for me to tell. It's hard to not be a slappy once that is what you are.
Yeah. I guess with Dobbs, I just don't get why he isn't the best of both worlds.
Well, the reason why everyone goes nuts for Wicks is that he was a rookie last year. We've got 2 years of Dobbs. Yeah. This is also, again, I just want to say this is not true. He's never said anything like this.
Yeah, he said something similar to that.
What he did was they had him draw up his perfect play. Tyreek Hill was one of the guys. Adams was one of the guys. Josh Jacobs was the running back. Kelsey was the tight end. And Dobbs was the X wide receiver. It's not, Steph, it's not about who Crane is or isn't high on. It's about the ship chasing ethos. It's a mentality.
Davis is gaslighting Crane.
Gaslighting everyone, honestly. I think this team is going very, like, I was thinking about this. There's probably a reason that our teams together generally do very well. It's a very good mix of pragmatism and enthusiasm.
I have a very good history drafting with you and with drafting with the ship chasing
with the
guys.
Ship chasers. Yeah. Also, this is true. Romeo Dobbs was a clip on ship chasing.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. He was clipped, and then he has like 2 so-so years, emerges as the team's #1 wide receiver, and we're like, not good enough. You're out of here. Like, it's insane to me. Like, it is one of the craziest things to me that people.
Do you know?
He hit his 96th percentile outcome, and you guys are like
5th round pick from Nevada.
Right? I mean, like, if you did all his percentile outcomes being drafted as a rookie, where are we? We're definitely in the top 10%.
Do you know the trivia of who had the first 100-yard receiving game for the Green Bay Packers last year?
No, is it Wicks?
No, it's Bo Melton.
Bo Melton.
All right, Brock Bowers goes. So that
I had Bowers
that really sucks.
Yeah, Bowers would have been nice.
I think there's a pretty clear pick here, personally.
I know who you think the clear pick is, and I'm fine with him at this point.
Yeah.
It's way better than last round.
Still would have been fine.
I am
playing for the Chasers, and this is gonna be a blast. Look, I have some pride. I love the chase. When I envision myself, I am a chaser. I'll always be a chaser.
I'm guessing Jaylen Warren is the guy that you think's the smash.
Yes. I mean, look, I would do the other guy you've got in the queue here. But I honestly, at this stage, I would rather just wait.
Yeah, I'm just torn. So Warren versus some of the rookie backs who don't give us the startability, but we've already got two. Usually you're drafting 0 RB teams. I could make an argument to end with the injury that maybe we get lucky. He comes back and we lock in Njoku at tight end. And then if we don't get Warren, we get Benson or Corum or Moss.
Let's do Warren. Okay. Well, no, you want to do Njoku?
No, we can do Warren. I was thinking Njoku might give us more team upside, but I like Goddard a lot too. I don't know how you feel about Goddard.
I took Njoku because I don't like.
I scared you with the Goddard.
You said Dallas Goddard, and I said, all
right. I struck the fear. Jalen Warren immediately goes. All right.
Dallas Goddard, uncorrelated Dallas Goddard in a high stakes format. I'm just like, oh, no, thank you.
If we only had one running back, I would have been like, yeah, for sure, let's take Warren. But I think when I'm thinking like just pure upside bets, I don't know if he separates enough for me.
I mean, look, dude, if you told me right now that Deshaun Watson is not playing by week 5, I'm like, David Njoku is like my tight end 4.
Yeah, I was maybe also, I don't know, I get weird in these overall contests too, where I'm like, can I win this contest with a bad tight end? And I probably can, but I get weird.
Oh, in this, so maybe not if we were doing the prime time or we doing the main event, but in this contest, we can absolutely win with like nothing at tight end.
You're right.
It's like the big dog or whatever.
Yeah, you're right. It's pretty small.
Like the overwhelming majority is that tight end will probably just be something like it was last year, where there'll be a group of 5 guys who are good, but they're very unlikely to be like even Laporta. Although we did have Laporta last year on our team that was very good. But Laporta was a good player last year, like a good advance rate player. But it wasn't like a Jimmy Graham, Gronkowski, Kelsey experience where he was winning your league. He was very good.
Yeah. Like he was the tight end 1, but it was one of the worst tight end 1.
I want to say it was 11.8 PPR points per game off the top of my head. Which is good for a tight end, but it's like Kelsey's had multiple 18-point per game seasons. It's much different. And yeah, I mean, Njoku, like, I'm not saying it because I think Watson is bad. I mean, I do think he probably is bad, but I actually am curious about your perspective on this, Leone. I've not listened to the Establish the Edge with Gretsch on the projections.
Yeah.
What do you do with the Browns' pass rate and play rate, given that it's like, how do you build in that uncertainty?
It's difficult. Everything they're saying makes it sound like they're going to be up tempo and throw more than last year. But throw more relative to the Deshaun Watson games. Obviously, things got fluky down the stretch, which is why, Njoku, I think we got him's fine, but sometimes he goes earlier, and I think that's off some fluky stuff second half of the year. But yeah, I don't know. It just comes down to if Watson playing 17 games because he's healthy, or because they feel like they have to play him, I guess is the difference. If he's actually healthy,
I'll answer that for you. They definitely feel they have to play him. There's no scenario where Watson, I mean, I guess the thing that you could suck out on if you're a big Cooper, Njoku guy or whatever is Watson's just like, I don't really feel like playing. It's just like, my shoulder.
Yeah, but I also, if Watson was theoretically like healthy, that wouldn't be bad for Njoku.
It'd be a smash. It's just like he also
is he ever going to be? It
seems like the shoulder. Like originally, my thinking was, the shoulder is just a very convenient way for him to not have to play football. But now, like the reporting is like, oh no, the shoulder. He had surgery on it 6 months ago, and it's still bad. Like he still.
There's one guy I think I really want here. I am team Blake Corum here.
Yeah,
just
same.
The upside swing. Okay. That was an easy one for us.
Kyron Williams returning punts, dude. It's Blake Corum season, dude.
I feel good about the Njoku pick with getting Corum coming back.
Yeah, look at that 2v2. Njoku, Corum, versus Jalen Warren and
The question is if Team
Goddard?
2 would have taken a tight end. We don't know. Would they?
Oh, sure.
Would they have, or would we have just gotten Njoku? But I think there's a decent chance they would.
This is true. Somehow, when you need a running back, Blake Corum is always there. Like, so, like, I mean, I like Blake Corum. I've got Blake Corum ranked ahead of ADP, but somehow when you need him, he is just always there.
Or did you lose me?
I think you just dropped. I think your internet just dropped for a second.
I'm like on Ethernet, and that's been happening to me now and then lately, and I don't get it, but I'm back now.
You know what? They throttle the internet at night. That's a real thing. That's not even a conspiracy theory. That is true.
Yeah, it's been happening to me during the day too, though. So we can't.
How did KB and your compatriots at ETR? Who did they send out to your house to set this space up for you?
Oh, there was actually a local company that saw Levitan's tweet that follows Established to Run, and they came out and helped me out, which was nice. Nothing too crazy, but I don't have to think twice when I start streaming, which is all I want. And I went with you and got the lavalier mic, which has been great.
Yeah, I wish that my setup was different. Like I mean, I'm in a basement, so we have similar setup issues.
Yeah.
Where like I don't look like a big YouTuber. Like Pete has the setup with the lights and the background, and it looks so good. And to get that set up in my basement, I mean, it would be so obnoxious. It would take.
There's only so much we can do with the rooms we're in, which I don't think people realize unless you're like in the room. You're like, oh yeah, you really.
I could do it. Maybe I do just have to do it. Like if I really want to make YouTube my thing, then maybe the answer is I actually just have to do it. But man, I don't want to. I love this. I thought Pete going all in on the impressions for this year's best ball video was great. I thought that was hilarious.
They were so good. I mean, I'm trying to think if this was the best one.
Quo. I don't think it's fair to say that I'm being lazy. Like my setup is still. It looks fine. I mean, it doesn't look like
you realize there's. If you don't know what you're doing either, it's not.
I would have to, not only would I have to buy the lights, buy the yada yada, I would also have to pay someone to like tell me what to do with the space. To be like, this is what you're gonna do with the space. It's not as easy as you think it is. That's all I'm gonna say. And might I also add, thank God we did not have to decide on Chase Brown or Zach Moss. I mean, just really, really beautiful that we did not have to decide on that. I was really hoping.
Did Brown go very early, or did I miss that?
No, Brown did go early. Brown went in the 8th round. I guess maybe we could have, if it was Moss versus Corum, maybe that would have been a decision.
I think I would have been Corum, but it would have been close. It would have been close for me. I would have been happy with either for sure. It's actually one running back. I really hope
things like that matter on the end. I mean, like thumbnails. Like thumbnails, you'd be like, oh, thumbnails. That can't. I mean, thumbnails are. ETR just posted a job posting to hire a thumbnail guy for $85,000 a year. Thumbnails matter big time. Can someone explain the Herzig letter? Yeah, absolutely. Herzig was in a 10K draft with Dave Portnoy, and basically like challenged him to like bet an extra 10K on top or something for their teams versus each other.
I love Herzig. I think he was angle shooting a little bit, and
Herzig was not a little bit. He was angle shooting, and he should. It was a good angle shoot because there's no downside to Portnoy saying no, and the upside is huge.
Yeah, the downside was Portnoy had like a really good retort, actually.
Yes. Well, yeah,
like a legitimately good retort.
Yeah. Well, it is.
But I do, I do appreciate Herzig trying to bring as much attention to best ball as possible, and at the same time appreciate.
I agree. I also think it was a good move. I would never shame Justin for doing that. I would in the same situation. I would have done the same thing. I don't think it was a bad look, in my opinion. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I thought it was hilarious. All right, fuck.
Oh my god. I'm not even gonna say it.
Rico Dowdle was also. I've got Rico a lot of picks ahead of this guy.
Oh, oh,
That
Whew.
was a bad run out right there. Rico and Benson going.
Yeah, I would have taken either of those and been very happy. There's Charbonnet. Dude, Marshawn Lloyd is back to life. Dylan's out for the season, and Lloyd's avoided IR pup.
I actually think we need a wide
Um,
receiver.
Yeah, I like probably. I mean, I know who you probably want. You can just take him if you want to take him.
No,
That's fine.
I'll do actually, Leone, can I interest you in can I interest you in Dobbins?
Dude, I'm more on board with Dobbins than the ETR ranks, but I'd almost rather just maybe grab the AD Mitchell thing before the Richardson team and then just get a running back that comes back, unless you think they all go.
The pencil pushers, at the end of the day, the pencil pushers always bow down to pure unadulterated talent. Doesn't have anything doesn't have anything to do with me. Doesn't have anything to do with me. I just know AD Mitchell can play.
There's two things I think here. One, the Downs injury is great for him, no matter how you slice it. He gets on the field more, which gives you a chance to.
He's going to be running routes week 1 when he would have been buried before.
Right, and it's not about the points that he scores. Then that is, he's getting the opportunity to show that he's just that good and needs to be on the field. So I'd say that's like number one on the thing. Two, he's also like, we have more info that he's looking the part at this point in time. And then three, in managed too, I again don't care about the floor point. Like, we're just taking guys that maybe break out and become obvious starts, right? If we're in a best ball and we're trying to get to 8 wide receivers, then I have a little tougher time taking AD Mitchell there.
That's such a funny thing. You would think like, oh, AD Mitchell has to be better for best ball than managed, right? Given the profile of how he scores points, but it's actually the opposite. He's actually way better for managed. You're going to get a ton of information on him early. And if he is just, I mean, there's also the chance that he's just running wind sprints a la Alec Pierce. And we'll know that. We'll know that very early.
This team probably could use an old at wide. I mean, like Downs too. I don't even mind making the double bet, but we should definitely be grabbing a running back here with the way they're coming off the board. And there's a couple guys that I still think are pretty good picks here. I'm torn on the Dobbins thing. I like him more than our ranks, but it's hard for me to say anyway. I really like him, meaningfully more than one of the running backs that we're going to get anyways.
Sure. I mean, the thing with Dobbins is Dobbins would be better. Dobbins would be a lot better if we didn't take David Montgomery, where you might just want points.
Yeah, so Charbonnet's there. Algier's like a pure handcuff upside guy. Lloyd's there. I'd probably be Charbonnet, or I was going to say Chandler or Lloyd. I'm like back in on the Lloyd thing. I think things broke really right for him, and the market's going to take a couple days to realize. Unless Emmanuel Wilson's really like a bigger thorn, and he could be, but Lloyd did avoid Pup, and AJ Dillon's out for the year, so that's about as good a news as you could have in a single day.
Why don't we do Sharbs though?
Okay.
Just feels like we've run hot on Seattle running backs in our time together. A little bit of vibes based.
I'm fine with Sharbs. And there's also Lloyd might come back. People are pretty scared of him, and they might
really just depends.
I don't know if people are slow on the news. There's a couple other backs too that are further down that maybe should have been more in consideration, but playing the ADP game a bit.
There are 2 running backs that are really buried in this that I really like.
I'm adding all the ones that I kind of like at price right now.
I like all these guys. I like everyone you put in the queue.
Look at us, mind meld.
I mean, I assume that we are playing pretty similar this year, for the most part. I mean, other than
I am ridiculously flat doing this many teams. Last year, I actually wasn't as flat as I think people realize, and I wasn't.
Tight end Taysom went. I was just searching for him in the queue, and I realized that he just went.
I wasn't crazy flat through like my first 80 drafts, but now that I'm through like 130-ish for BBM, I'm going to have anyone over 20% right now.
I'm actually honestly much flatter. Overall, I only have 11 guys over 20% overall.
Yeah, I've got a handful very close. Running back, I guess I'm just super flat on because I really play running back based on the room, and there's like we saw today with all the, like some of the landmines and stuff. Like I'm glad I'm flat. Like I'm just trying to make like smart teams and like
Man,
the archetypes diversified. So there's
Leone,
some fodder.
can I have a real mental health moment with you for a little bit?
Yeah.
Like Samaje Perine signing with the Bengals is gonna be like I'm gonna feel dark for real. It's gonna be really bad. So maybe I should just play it like you at running back, where I'm like, yeah, sure, good pick, whatever, he's fine. Oh, brutal. And I was DMing with a Broncos beat writer, and he's like, yeah, dude, he's going to Cincinnati. It's like everyone knows. But I wonder. Let me put my my hopium. Hold on. I gotta get my hopium hat on. This is the most copium you could ever get. I wonder if it really broke such a way that maybe it doesn't happen because other teams can give him a bigger role now. Like the Browns, whatever. If the Browns wanted to give him a bunch of, is this true? Please, you guys can't tell me. You guys, I don't know if you're fooling or not.
What was the thing?
They said he just landed in Cincy.
So they're probably messing with you, dude.
There are about 20 teams that could use Perine. Yeah, I mean, how about the Packers?
Dude, I do think the hype on Chase Brown is one of the ones I don't totally get. Man, the run.
Yeah, running back got absolutely wrecked. But yeah, Vidal going. So what was it? I was about to say something. I've been streaming all day. My brain is like
Chase
literally
Brown.
mush. Oh, the Chase Brown thing. Well, I can only speak from my own perspective, and I think it's what the market also says, which is Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon was never good, really. Like never posted good efficiency numbers, but just churned out fantasy points on that offense. Zach Moss, replacement level back, famously got benched for Devin Singletary, a running back who no one really respects. Although Devin Singletary, they should respect him a little bit more than they do. And it's like Zach Moss can be. It's the Rico Dowdle, Zeke Elliott thing. Will thinking both players are a little bit better, right?
Yeah,
that's what it is. Brown is the Rico. Moss is the Zeke without the organizational worship, effectively.
Yeah, I think they're similar bets, Moss and Chase Brown. I'd probably take Chase Brown ahead for a little bit more juice, but I don't know.
Well, I've been smart, not whatever, humble enough to be taking quite a bit of Zach Moss now that he's cheaper. See, this is the kind of thing that makes me think people are just being unserious. Like Rico Dowdle never had more than 600 yards in a season at South Carolina. Chase Brown had 1,700 yards in the Big Ten. It's just they're different. They're different players. All right, what do you want to do here?
I think I want to go running back here.
I do want to go running back, but my God, did our queue get riddled?
I think Antonio Gibson's like a pretty
good
pick.
Yes. Antonio Gibson, if people were being serious about fantasy football, Antonio Gibson would be going where like Jalen Warren goes. But no one is willing to be serious.
I started off really high on him, got panicked that I was just making a stupid, dumb, boring play, and then I'm back in. Herzig was really hyping me up on Gibson with the preseason usage, basically giving us the, hey, you might be able to start this guy if Ramondre's in, and obviously you have the contingent upside if Ramondre is out. And we're just expecting to be extremely concentrated.
They waived their third running back. today.
Yeah, so basically it's going to be those two guys, and one is going way later than the other. I mean, where did Ramondre go? Round 7, mid 7, and we got Gibson mid 13.
Cowboys cutting star free agent acquisition Royce Freeman. Tough break.
Where are you on Zeke? Oh, he just goes. But I'm just curious. I think he
That seems
was
actually
maybe,
very late for Zeke.
yeah, I was gonna say I think he was
I think
roughly in the conversation.
my
there.
brain is so underdog pilled that like
Yeah.
my eyes go right past him. I do think he's a pretty bad underdog pick because it's just hard for me to imagine him scoring a lot of touchdowns in week 15, 16, and 17. But like if you need 12.2 PPR points in week 4, pretty good pick, I think.
So there's a few backs I still like. I'd probably want to just grab another one and then maybe gravitate towards some bench receiver upside. I honestly think one quarterback, one tight end is fine for us.
Yeah, I mean
in
this will
format.
just be a team. This will just be a team that has to be actively playing tight end, which we're pretty comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a tight end that seems interesting to me.
No, if we got late and someone slipped, but for me, I don't think there's anyone here. Is there someone here that you like?
I mean, I like Isaiah Likely theoretically, but he ends up being a roster clogger in a weird way, kind of like holding on to a backup running back where you're like, yeah, but if Mark Andrews gets hip drop tackled again, then he's going to be the guy, you know, he's a contingent value tight end. Freaking Herbert goes.
The Bigsby, Herbert, Tracy picks were bad. I thought we were going to get one of those three.
Yes.
So now I'm a little bit.
No,
there's a rookie
receiver
that I love that I'd rather just lock in here, even though it's early.
Sure. There's also a rookie. There's also a rookie running back.
Yeah, I was thinking we could wait on. Well, there's 2 in our queue. I'm guessing you thinking the top one.
Yes, but I think we take your guy. We just we're gonna roll the clip.
Yeah, let's roll the clip.
Producer. Nothing. Sorry, guys. I do. Lou did make me a Greg Dortch clip, but I have not uploaded it to StreamYard yet.
Dude, he would be not a bad pick for our team late. Usually I don't take guys like that. Tolbert is a decent pick too.
Yeah.
But we have if there's injuries
there are
to our
worlds,
receiver group, we might need someone that we can just plug and play, like Keon and
I was gonna say there are worlds where Greg Dortch is starting for us in week 2. No doubt about it.
There's another receiver I added that I like. I'll add. Oh, I know there's a guy you like too that surprisingly you like more than me that I'll add.
Yeah, the thing about Wandale is I actually I'm almost for sure below market on him this year. I am so out on Daniel Jones, man. It's totally vibes based analysis, but that preseason pick 6 he threw, the end zone one, I was like, that is just, that's like Josh Rosen. That's like that guy doesn't want to play football anymore.
Yeah, I think he can still do enough to keep the receiver stats up, though. You know what I mean? Like, he might make some really dumb plays, but I think he might do enough that the receiver stats are okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I that's the thing is like, yeah, I'm like right at the field with Neighbors. Like I don't jam Neighbors, but I don't hate him. He's fine. Yeah, we did. Last year's silver bullet was, we were just talking about it. We hit on a lot of stuff. Almost won without Puka or Kyron, which is pretty crazy. Very strong draft with not getting either of those guys.
Did we have Brees on that team? I drafted the shit out of Brees last year in all these high stakes leagues where he was going like rounds 4. like 3 and 4 pretty routinely.
All right, let's recap the team for the audio listeners. Tyreek Hill, Devin Achane, DJ Moore, Tank Dell, Xavier Worthy, CJ Stroud, probably feeling a little bit of a mistake there. David Montgomery, Keon Coleman, David Njoku, Blake Corum, AD Mitchell, Zach Charbonnet, Antonio Gibson, Jalen McMillan. It's not too bad, man. Not too
No,
bad.
I'm okay with this Stroud pick. Like I don't mind. It's not something if I was doing a bunch of these, I'd want to get a bunch of those, but sometimes it's fun to try and make a team work like that. And I think we see this ceiling case for sure.
I'm becoming increasingly woke to this idea that Tony Pollard, the tightrope procedure, just messed him up last year. He's feeling strong. He's feeling confident. Tennessee is going to be much better than the market anticipates. They just traded for that linebacker from the Rams today. I don't know, man. I think I'm getting him up to like 10% after kind of being out on him. This is seasonal. This is seasonal managed. Deuce Vaughn did make the team. Let the record show Deuce Vaughn did make the team. Did make the Dallas Football Cowboys.
The Titans running backs. Oof. 6% Pollard, 4% Spears.
Classic Leone. Classically. And they're probably all right after their ADP.
Probably.
Yeah.
I do wish I had more Pollard. We were on him early, then probably rightfully got spooked, but like you said, it's starting to look better for him now.
Do we know why the Chiefs signed Juju? Yeah, because their wide receivers all suck.
What do you want to do here?
Anyone but Rashad Bateman.
Oh, dude, Bateman's like a good pick for our team. He's a starting wide receiver.
I'd rather take another Nepo baby.
Let's just take Will Shipley because these running backs are so bad in my opinion.
Will Shipley versus Oh, this is what we should do. We should set the min pick on Carson Steele.
Oh, do we get the look ahead for the Silver Bullets or no?
Yes.
Oh, well, we get it. We get it for Bateman too, dude.
Do not quote me on that. I assume so. I assume the rules for this are the same as the other big contests, but don't 100% quote me on that.
I don't see. I love NFFC, but I don't see them switching the technology.
Josh will know. Josh Dombrowski is a big NFFC player. He will know if
we get dude, Bateman. Oh, we should take him Bateman, dude. That was the pick. Free look. Who doesn't love a free look on a starting wide receiver?
Yes,
that legitimately could start for
our
team.
The look ahead. Very simple. There are still drafts in these contests going on Friday and Saturday. That they have people out to Las Vegas to draft these teams, and there are NFL games on Thursday and Friday. So you are allowed to know the scores and decide if you want to start them or not. So we actually get a free look on. We get a free look on Will Shipley as well. So if we know that Will Shipley scores 17 points against the Packers, then we can just put him in as our running back too.
I don't think you can drop them like FFPC.
I believe that's true. I believe there's no drop.
The look ahead at the end, super great because if you take Carson Steele and CEH is the RB2 and Carson Steele does nothing, you can drop him literally for Sunday waivers that week, even though he already played. Or so it's like it works both ways. I
think Urendo. Here's the thing about Urendo. I'd love to believe, but man, he was pretty bad.
He made the team though, right? And Eli's out for the year, so he's at least got life.
Did Cody Schrader make the team?
I gotta check. I'm not sure.
Cody Schrader, I think, got put on the practice squad. Cody Schrader. I will be able to determine this. No, he didn't. Waived, but all the beat writers are saying he's probably going to make the practice squad. Leave a light on for SEC leading rusher Cody Schrader. Patrick Taylor. He was we're on the clock. Nepo baby. Actually, no, Malik Washington. I want to take Malik Washington.
Here? I don't know.
Yes.
Why don't we take Wandale first and then take Malik?
Malik Washington is a better pick.
You think he's better than like Luke McCaffrey?
Luke McCaffrey is also a good pick. He's gonna. I mean, what if I told you that Malik Washington runs 57% of the routes in week 1? How much higher do you take him than this?
You definitely take him higher than this.
He's going to run 57% of the routes in week 1.
I love how I added him to the queue to keep in mind for the very end, and you saw him in the queue, and you're like, "That's it."
No, that's my guy right now. That's my guy that
put him in the queue. We would be.
That's my guy that I'm hammering as we get to the end of all these drafts.
He's a good guy really to hammer. For sure, I think right now
he would. Odell's going on the pup. The thing that's standing in the way of him getting on the field is already gone.
The other guy I kind of like late, more for best ball, but Mechie as basically the same reason why I was taking Noah Brown. But now Noah Brown's dead and Mechie has no ownership.
It's actually crazy that Mechie made the team because I thought Noah Brown was a lock for the team.
Dude, we had some surprises today for sure. The Dylan and Eli season-ending IR, I felt like we know that Eli's been dealing with a Mitchell, but those seemed kind of out of nowhere.
There was not one reporter suggested it was anything to be seriously concerned about. Season-ending IR, isn't it a hamstring injury?
I don't know. I didn't even hear them floating like pup for him.
If you would have asked any. Well, okay, Malik Washington, I also am just realizing this. There's something about me and UVA wide receivers. Malik Washington went to UVA, and so like Wicks, he's on brand. But yeah, Mitchell going on. If you would have asked any like relatively plugged in fantasy football player yesterday who the running back 2 is for San Francisco, they would have been like, well, it's probably Mason, but Mitchell's been there for a long and he's just gone. He's just on season-ending IR. That's nuts. That's nuts.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the squad?
I feel very good about this team, honestly. Ooh. I think this is very strong. As always, I probably would have the Stroud thing is like whatever, But here's the thing. It kind of feels like whatever right now. And then every week when we check our lineup and he's got 24 points, we're like, oh, sick.
Yeah. The one question with Stroud is the other Houston wide receivers were to the left of us. People will take unstacked in this format, but you could argue that maybe we could have pushed him around and gotten a better receiver. I do think at the time we were somewhat confident we would get a Dunze or Brian Thomas in round 7, and then both those guys went. But oddly, dude, I really like the Montgomery pick. I know it's a little bit of a boomer pick, but I don't get why he goes after some of these running backs. It's like he's being drafted on his base value, and then he's got all this contingent upside to be. I mean, he's like a top. Where does he go if Jahmyr Gibbs is out?
Montgomery?
Yeah. Round 3?
Where I was going to say where Kyron goes. This guy,
not necessarily where we would take him, but where his ADP is, it's probably wrong.
Oh, I'd take him there. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I'm such a fucking slappy. I'd be like, all right, round 11, Sion Vaki, let's fucking go. Carson Steele, this guy just doesn't want me to have any fun, man. He doesn't want me to take a
Sam
peek.
Sherman special in our queue.
Sure. What would be a good? Would be a good
kicker right now?
We could take a good kicker. I was also thinking, what would be a hilarious bit? Would be to take P. Ryan. would be an incredibly good bit to take P. Ryan. No, let's take the Chiefs kicker. Let's take Bucker. We get to take a peek.
No, I think we have to start him because we're not taking 2 kickers.
Yeah, but just whenever you take a guy who plays in the first game of the season, you say take a peek.
Fair enough. We're taking a locked-in peek.
Yeah, we're locking in our week 1 peek. McCaffrey goes, QJ goes. Let's take the Chiefs kicker.
Okay.
What's your go-to week 1 defense? I've got 2 that I take every time.
Bengals.
Bengals is 1, Vikings is the other one. Vikings have the Giants, and Brian Flores is a fucking madman. I don't know very much about defense, but I do know that Brian Flores is one of the all-time greats at confusing quarterbacks.
That's a good one.
Wait, what do you mean I picked the defense? No, I didn't. I picked the kicker. Don't scare me like that, dude.
It's team kicker, so it looks like.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Team
Yeah.
kicker.
On NFC, you don't pick the individual kicker. You just pick the team. You pick the team.
If you're willing to hold the Bengals through some weeks that they're like not that strong for, like KC week 2, you do get them home versus New England, home versus Washington, at Carolina 3 of the first 4 weeks, and then you sort of just eat a low score against KC. And again, the points allowed just doesn't matter in these formats anyways. So it's not like you're taking negatives against KC. You're just probably not getting a good score.
Yes. You confused Daniel Jones from what I've seen. I assume it's pretty empty up there. That's pretty funny. You know, Colby Parkinson going in a managed league. Crazy.
That is crazy. Like, as a third tight end. That's where, man, like, the odds of this pick mattering are very low, but Colby Parkinson
sending them to 0.
Yeah.
This is also true. This way, I don't have to say that I took Bucker. I can say I took the Chiefs kicker. That's an incredibly good point. Very, very good point. Thank you.
What's
starting tight end on LA is Colby Parkinson.
Man, that's Browns kicker. Okay, I was gonna say Browns defense was there. I think we should do the Sam Sherman special. He's the clear RB2 here, even though he sucks. It makes sense.
Sure. I mean, is there the Sam Sherman special, like the ceremonial Travis Homer pick? But sure, Trey Sermon. He is the stone cold running back too on this team.
We did kind of abandon the idea of getting a startable wide receiver in these late rounds with the Malik Washington.
We took Jalen McMillan. Consecutively. Okay, we did go full slappy. We
went full, dude.
We went Tank Dell in the 4th round. And then our remaining wide receiver picks were Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, A.D. Mitchell, Jalen McMillan, and Malik Washington.
Yeah, we probably we should have gone Bateman over Shipley. I mean, for sure, we should have gone Bateman over Shipley.
We could.
I don't know if there is one that's worth it where it's like there's Demarcus Robinson, but like at that point we'd probably just start McMillan, right? I mean,
I would definitely say so. Yes.
So I think we should there's a free look out there that we should just take.
Is there?
Yeah, he's in our queue. And it's full slappy.
Well, if it's full, it is a free look. I guess he did make the team. I would have taken Yoshi Boss. He went.
Yoshi was gone. Yeah, we had Yoshi in the queue.
Yeah, I would have taken.
Yoshi would have been perfect.
Yeah, Yoshi would have been very good. Tough scene. Taking Trey Sermon. I mean, it is one of those things that it feels so liberating to get to a managed league and be like, oh, I can actually just cut these guys. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
We should have taken Cam Akers.
You think so?
Yes. Cam Akers better pick than Trey Sermon.
The Emmanuel Wilson pick is sharp too.
Yeah,
Although,
that's
he
also
doubled
good.
down on it, the Lloyd Emmanuel Wilson. But I think that's sharp. I mean, in a managed league too, you can drop one of those guys. I think that's a sharp play.
Akers and Wilson feels sharper than forever knowing that in the year 2024, I just took Trey Sermon on a fantasy football team.
Well, what about Pierce? I mean, he did make the team.
Did they keep 4 or just 3? Because if they kept 3, Pierce is probably still the 2. But if they kept Akers, Ogunbowale, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they kept 4. We could take Pierce. We could also do this. We could also take Tyquan or Osborne. That's your Drake May shows up. Drake May is him. The thing is that we would drop Baker. We would drop Baker so fast.
Let's be honest. I mean, man. We probably should have taken Baker, but now that we didn't, that ship has sailed, and we're just gonna have to assume that Xavier Worthy. It's not even Worthy. It's just like if someone gets hurt, but like Keon's gotta play, man. Keon's just gotta play.
If Curtis Samuel has turf toe, and Keon Coleman can't play over Mac Hollins, what are we doing? They kept 5, including British Brooks. That's insane. That's an insane sentence. Liam took Anders Carlson for a take a peek last night, and he was cut today. Incredible. That is. I've never experienced that. I don't think Keon is hopium. He did outproduce Jaden Reed at Michigan State, so I'm not saying 0.
Sometimes too. I mean, I'm just like first pick of the second round to a team that's desperate for wide receiver has a very good quarterback. Like, how bad of a gamble could it be? Maybe he does stink, but like,
let's take P. Ryan. P. Ryan is funny. It's the funniest thing to do.
Okay, let's go for the bits.
It would have been P. Ryan or Sion Vaki, and I'm sure that P. Ryan is going to project for more points in week 1 than Vaki.
So we got Tyreek, DJ Moore, Tank Dow. Oof, yeah, dude. We don't have much wide receiver depth, but
isn't that so funny? You start your draft off 5 wide receivers through 4 picks, and you're like, I don't know, man. My wide receivers are looking kind of thin. Meanwhile, you know that the team that started Barkley and Etienne is like, dude, I got Jaden Reed as my 5th wide receiver. I'm rich. You just know that's how it goes. Coleman, people forget, Coleman is CeeDee Lamb's cousin. Yeah, Keon outproduced Jaden Reed, age 22 at Michigan State. People forget, but I don't forget. I don't know. It's just the thing that was so funny was that the whole draft season, I was like, the Bills are going to take Keon Coleman. I think it's a bad pick, and they're going to do it. And then you were like, yeah, literally, please just don't take Keon Coleman. And then they just snap take Keon Coleman. It was just one of those things.
I'm not one of those irrational fans that's like, oh, you can't trade with Kansas City. But I'm also not going to lie and be irrational the other way and say that it did not sting for me to be like, oh, wow, the Bills are going to get Worthy. This is great. And then they trade to KC. They take Worthy. That's going to sting if Worthy's really good.
Just for the vibes, just for the ghosts. It's like they should never trade with Kansas City. They should just have a rule.
There are fans that legitimately think that.
I think that. I mean, I don't root for the Bills, but I think that.
I mean, you gotta operate a business here. You can't
Vikings.
Just not. Yeah, I really don't care. So I think Chargers was the other one. Well, okay, we're locked into the Vikings.
Vikings they're gonna have a pick six. Yeah, Devontae Walker. It's just like I had like 16% of Devontae Walker in Best Ball Mania at a certain point, and then it's just like every update was like, yeah, he's like running with the threes.
Well, what do you
And
expect a 6th-round pick? I mean, of course he is.
well, the issue is that the Ravens take a 4th-round wide receiver every year that I kind of like. You know, Devin Duvernay,
Tylan
Aaron
Wallace.
Millette, Tylan Wallace. They take a 4th-round wide receiver who's like got a vaguely interesting profile every single year, and I'm like, I don't know, this could be the year. And then every year, Willie Snead, Nelson Aguilar are
Yeah.
running all the routes for those guys every time, no matter what.
For late defenses, Chargers are home versus the Raiders, at Carolina, at Pittsburgh. Not a bad start for people in late defense leagues. But we're going all in on Danny Dimes.
We're 9 days away from the season. I can't pretend that I'm that locked in, but I know that the Vikings play against Daniel Jones. Brian Flores against Daniel Jones, week 1. That's all I know.
Yeah, Seahawks
And
is
therefore,
solid too. They got obviously the Ravens defense coordinator from last year as their coach, and they're home versus Denver, at New England. That's 2 good ones. There's a ton of defenses you can get late if you miss that first tier where you're just holding on to them all year.
All right, Leone, let's recap our roster. We have a quarterback, CJ Stroud. How are you feeling about the decision to take Stroud?
I would not have done it if I knew the receiver picks that went after were going to go the way that they did.
We're going to go probably the way they did. Yeah.
At the same time, I think it's kind of a fun build to like actually have 2 really good running backs from the start. Like we're pretty locked. We have a more optimized week 1 team than we usually do. The risky spot in our lineup is going to be, do we have the 4 pass catchers all year long that we want to start? Now, it's possible with our running back room looking pretty good that we do end up going 3-3, but it's still a little shaky. Shakier at wide receiver than I think we'd both like.
Meanwhile, the running backs feeling pretty good. A-Chain, Montgomery, Corum, Sharbs, Gibson. We all like all those guys than just like pure lotto tickets. Shipley, Sermon, Pirine.
Yeah, I almost wonder, we're so used to drafting teams weaker at running back, if we got sniped before the Shipley pick, but if like
we should have just been another wide receiver.
Shipley should have been Bateman. We just swapped Shipley for Bateman, and I like the team a little bit more. That is unlikely to really matter, though. You know, I'd feel good now, but
I think we nailed the money picks. Reek, love, Moore, love, Dell, love, Worthy, love, Keon. I like, not going to say that I love, but Mitchell, McMillan, and Malik Washington, all smashes to me.
And where we got Keon in a vacuum wasn't like the most amazing value, but like
such a fall off though. He went, then Sutton went.
Yeah, I think Sutton actually went before him, which is kind of crazy.
Yes, no, he did. And the next wide receiver who went after him was Jordan Addison, then Dobbs and Shakir. So big.
So it was really Keon versus Addison.
The Chasers love to gaslight Leone. They love to gaslight Michael Leone. Look at this gaslighting.
This is, I draft so many rookies. It's insane. And then
David Njoku at tight end.
Also, we were talking about this earlier, but I do think there's a little bit of a fundamental misunderstanding between best ball and managed, and the rookies are actually better in managed than in best ball, even though it seems
their zeros do not matter.
Yeah, it's also, you're looking for pure upside, right? It's not even, you're looking for pure like, what's the top 5% outcome, because anything else is like, I'll grab a guy off waivers that averages 9 points a game if I like desperately need to start him. Yes. Whereas in best ball, you know, you do take a literal zeros in your score from week to week, and those 75th percentile outcomes, 50th to 75th percentile outcomes start to matter a ton. You know, guys that are just on the field and have a role are going to run into spike weeks. They're going to prevent you from really bad floor weeks. And yeah, And I still have lots of rookies in best ball, but just not as much as in
drafting with Evan. I can only imagine what drafting with cranky old Silva's like. And I will be drafting with
our
Evan
team was
tomorrow.
okay there, but maybe not.
I have a FFPC main event with Mr. Silva tomorrow.
Nice.
Looking forward to that. All right, Leone, let's get out of here. Tell the people, establish the edge, subscribe to the ETR Best Ball package. Anything specifically you would like to send people towards as we head out of here?
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're grinding away, getting ready for week 1. So if you're playing DFS, check us out. Check out the solver. We got the simulations that we power over there. So getting excited for DFS action.
All right, beautiful. Everyone, thank you very much for listening, hanging out. Consider subscribing to the channel. Consider becoming a member on the channel. Remember that if you comment on the video, you're locking yourself in for a ticket to 5% post-gross tax of $1.5 million USD. Don't forget it. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. I will be back tomorrow afternoon. Gonna hop on and draft some Best Ball Manias after this Woolcast is done. So I will